What's up, guys? Edward here, Old Place Outdoors, and just wanted to get back in here today and talk with you about using a mouth call for calling turkeys. And so before we get going, I do want to encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. That way you can get all the latest videos I'm going to be dumping out. Spring season is here, and youth season is coming up this coming Saturday here in Virginia. And I've been getting out there every morning and listening for gobblers, and got eyes on several of them. So hopefully got some great content coming down the pipeline. So all that said, though, today we're going to continue talking about using the mouth call, and we're going to be talking about a very strategic call to use, and that's called the Kee Kee and the Kee Kee run. And so with that said, though, let's talk a little bit about the call itself. The Kee Kee and the Kee Kee run are often attributed to fall turkey hunting because that's oftentimes where you hear it, and the reason for that is because it's a very, very common call amongst like jakes and jennies, or juvenile birds. You know, the fall of the first year of their hatch. Basically, they're out there in these big, massive flocks, and it's common to come across maybe a group of 15, 20 birds, and the strategy is you break them up, and as you start calling back to them, you might hear a yelp off in the distance, and you'll yelp or kee kee at them, and you'll hear one 100 yards this way, 60 yards this way, and next thing you know, they're just all around you, and they're slowly making their way back to a central point. And the more calling and kee keeing that they hear, the more safe, I guess you could say, that they feel to that particular area, and they're basically wanting to congregate back up and getting that safety in numbers, so to speak. So that's where the kee kee comes from mostly, and that's why it gets the I guess the stigma of being a fall call. But you will absolutely hear hens in the spring kee keeing, and also doing like a kee kee run or a kee kee yelp. And so the kee kee itself can be a little bit difficult of a call to pull off, and it does take a lot of practice. But one of the first things that you want to do, one of the first things you want to do is talk about call placement, and we'll get into that in a little bit again. And if you hadn't seen that video, I do, like I say, go check that one out to where you can get that groundwork for making any of the turkey sounds. But the call itself, placed in your mouth correctly, the idea is to make a whistling sound. And we utilize, most of the time you'll see that it's recommended to use what's called a ghost cut. And as you can see here, that's a ghost cut. It's got a pretty symmetrical cut right in the center of the call. And the idea is to channel that air right over the top of that reed and right down the center, and then utilize your lips to make a whistling sound. And that kee kee, or the what I like to use is the pee pee. So the sound of it without the call is like pee 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 pee, and it could be anywhere from 2, 3, 5 notes, just like pee 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 pee, and you just kind of vary it. And the best way to do that is just to listen to other birds and see how are they kee keeing, and just try to mimic that. But again, it's a whistling sound depending on those lips to do it. And so talking about call placement, though, just jumping back in real quick, want to ensure that you got the call with the cut, and this one, the ghost cut, up, and you're going to place it at the back of or in the roof of the mouth, and it's going to sit generally in like this in the mouth is how you're going to get that to focus for you to where you can see. But that's generally what you're wanting to see, and maybe just a touch back from that even. About up in that vicinity is what we're talking. And then you're going to be utilizing your tongue as your mouth is closed. Your tongue is going to be keeping a steady pressure up against that the reed and the call, and controlled steady pressure up against that reed, then utilizing your lips to make that pee 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 pee. So I'm going to demonstrate real quick how I do a kee kee and a kee kee run. And again, putting the call in the right way. But really all you're doing is channeling that air right over top of that reed and going P, 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 P. So and then to make the Kee Kee run, you'll do that same sequence and then follow it with a quick yelp. So just drop right into a yelp. And so the Kee Kee itself is really just the highest note of that yelp. If you remember in the yelp where we just do a and I'm really slowing that down, but you're getting that whistle, getting that reed activated, and then dropping out. Now certain calls will have rasp to it, and that's why with the key or with the ghost cut, it kind of it drowns out that rasp, and you just get that whistle over the top of the reed. So drop right into your yelps. And you will definitely hear those hens doing that in the spring. And I've been out there before and hear another hen do it maybe, or just start throwing a Kee Kee in just to, you know, maybe get them excited or something. And you could really tick off another hen, or maybe just get her curious, and she'll come in yelping and squawking the whole way. And a lot of times she'll drag her boyfriend in tow with her. So be working on that one. It can be a difficult call to really get down pat, but the more you practice at anything, the better you're going to get at it. And just be working on that one, and work on the, you know, if you're still struggling with any sounds, and just go back to that yelp and focus on that yelp like I always say. And check out those other videos, because that's really what's important, is to just lay the groundwork for all of the calls, and then start stacking your knowledge up on top of it little by little as you get better and better and more comfortable using the mouth call. And so if you got any questions, be sure and drop me a comment below. I love getting the questions and love trying to help you guys. It takes a lot of work to do these things and a lot of commitment, but you know, one thing with that, a little, you know, side note, it's kind of a no-brainer, but you know, many of us have a commute to work, and that is the best time to be working on these. You know, get in there and you know, Bluetooth up to your stereo and get some live turkey sounds on, and put a mouth call in, and just go to town. You know, it's like the worst thing you got is the guy next to you at the traffic light who thinks you look like a buffoon or whatnot. But other than that, you know, you're just going to be getting that practice in and not driving your family crazy. So be working on those calls though, and hit me up with a comment if you got it, and make sure and hit that subscribe button. And if this video was helpful, hit that like button and share it with somebody. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one, and you guys be working on these calls, because it won't be long. We'll be hearing them boys gobble.